Remember, we are nearing the end of tax season. If you're self-employed, the deadline to file is now less than 2 weeks away. We are teaming up with our friends at TurboTax to get tips before you file. Stephanie Riccio is a CPA and TurboTax spokesperson and joins me today. Steph, great to have you.
Good morning.
Okay, so the deadline to file for people who are self-employed is June 17th. So first, let's look at who qualifies as a self-employed person. What can you tell us?
All right, so quick test. If you've received a T4 or a pay slip and you see tax deducted, you're an employee and you're good to go. If not, that's self-employed income, and you might call yourself a freelancer, a side gigger, independent consultant, contractor, sole proprietor, whatever it might be. But what's really important is that you need to put funds aside to cover your taxes to the CRA.
Yeah, so that was what I was going to say next. For people who fall into this category, if you're not putting that money aside, what's going to happen when you come to tax time?
So unlike employees, you're going to file your tax return. You're going to get that final tax amount that you owe to the CRA. And it's your obligation, nobody else's, to send it into the government. So what we recommend is that for anyone who's self-employed, take 25 to 30% of income that you've received, put it aside, and use it to cover your federal and provincial taxes, your GST, HST, if it's applicable. This way, you can get that payment in on time for the deadline, and you're good to go without having to worry about where the funds are going to come from.
I think that's a really important thing for people to realize, especially like if you are working full time and you've started a side hustle, you might not realize that that check, say you're getting a $10,000 check, that's not all yours.
Absolutely. That's the common misconception, not recognizing that that needs to be dealt with. It's going to become part of your income, and there will be an impact to you for sure.
Okay, what happens if you have a side hustle, or even if you are self-employed and you didn't make any profit this year? Because that's going to happen.
This one's a great question because it confuses a lot of people. So even if you have a side hustle and it lost money, you're going to file that tax return, especially if you have other taxable income. Because what happens is you can reduce your taxable income by applying that loss. And the benefit to you is you've just reduced your income tax payable. So that's dollars back into your pocket.
Okay. What advice do you have for people who find themselves owing money after they filed?
First and foremost, if it's possible, make your payment in full by the deadline. We recognize completely that that's not an option for everybody. So if that's where you find yourself, be proactive, contact the CRA and work with them to create a payment schedule. And that allows you to make payments to the CRA over a specific period of time. And then the benefit to you is that the total interest you end up paying on the balance starts to get reduced. So you end up a little bit further ahead because waiting till you have the entire balance to pay is not feasible for a lot of people.
Steph, I'm the gal on our show that does all of these tax segments during tax filing time. And I think even for a regular like T4 style tax return, it feels really overwhelming, let alone in this economy where I think a lot of people have side hustles. A lot of people are freelancers and have these gigs to make extra money. This feels really overwhelming. There's so much to remember. So what do you say to people who are feeling like me, feeling a little overwhelmed, and they're thinking, I need help?
So we are so close to the filing deadline, and you're right. People are anxious and feeling overwhelmed. So this is the time where we say, go get the expert help, use a solution like TurboTax Live full service, and work with an expert who's going to file on time with accuracy and with confidence. And the experts have a average of 10 years experience in taxes, and they will find you all of the eligible deductions and credits to apply to your situation. But most importantly, they handle the process from start to finish and just take the burden off of you. So why not go ahead and get that expert help?
It's like a giant weight off your shoulders. It really is.
Absolutely.
Steph, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
I've got your full national weather forecast coming up in just 2 minutes. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your morning is brought to you in part by TurboTax. Make your moves. We'll make them count.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.